There's bold, and then there's Meghan Markle bold. You'd think ditching the monarchy, throwing shade on Oprah, and turning Hollywood into her personal playground would have been enough fireworks for one lifetime. But apparently, Meghan doesn't just stir tea, she boils the whole kettle. Because now the whispers aren't about Netflix deals or royal rifts. They're about forgery. Yes, allegedly, Meghan has been forging Prince Harry's signature multiple times on serious legal documents. Let that sink in. We're not talking gossip column drama anymore. We're talking potential criminal behavior. So, what kind of documents? Oh, honey, that's the terrifying part. The chatter is all over the place. Contracts, financial agreements, business deals, basically anything that needed Harry's official nod. But instead of waiting for his consent, Meghan supposedly took a pen and thought, Harry who? This is my signature now. Some say it was for money, others, power. But whichever it was, let's be clear. Forging your husband's signature isn't just shady, it's dominance. It screams control. And guess what? Their brand can't handle another disaster. Spotify dumped them. Netflix is reevaluating. The documentaries fizzled. And now, a forgery scandal could nuke whatever goodwill they had left. You can't help but feel for Harry. The poor guy gave up everything, his titles, his duties, his family, because he believed in love. But now, insiders whisper he's more prisoner than partner. He's looking tired, even broken. The once smiling prince now walks like a man carrying the weight of his own mistakes. And Meghan? Allegedly, she's already plotting her next move. Prenups, custody strategies, PR spin, like she's 3 steps ahead in a game Harry doesn't even realize he's losing. Some even claim this was the plan from day one. Harry wasn't the love of her life, he was the launch pad. Here's the cruel irony. Meghan says she fled the palace because they silenced her. But now, she's the one silencing Harry, controlling the story, controlling the money, maybe even controlling the kids. And if these forgery claims are real, the whole house of cards collapses. Because this time, it's not about bad press, it's about the law. And let's talk fallout. If this goes legal, and word is lawyers are already circling, Meghan could face serious consequences. Fines, lawsuits, maybe even criminal charges. And Harry? He'd be forced to choose. Protect Meghan or protect himself. Because technically, if his name was forged, he's the victim. And victims don't get to just shrug it off. But Meghan, the strategist she is, allegedly has her excuses ready. That Harry gave verbal consent, that she had to sign quickly, that she was saving their projects. Same old playbook. Misunderstood outsider, pushed into impossible choices. Only this time, even Hollywood isn't buying it. And here's where it gets dark. Some sources claim Harry only found out because lawyers flagged documents with his signature that didn't match up. Imagine the humiliation, your name being used without your knowledge. And now the whispers say this wasn't a one-off, it was a pattern. Small at first, a project pushed through, a donation approved, but it snowballed. And now investigators want timestamps, email chains, receipts. Because if this was premeditated, Meghan's in serious trouble. And don't think the royal family isn't watching. Word is they're quietly smirking. Charles, William, palace aides, they warned him. They saw the red flags. But Harry thought love would conquer all. Now he's finding out love may have just signed him into a legal nightmare. Meanwhile, Hollywood's gone cold. Netflix feels burned. Spotify's done. Boardrooms whisper that Meghan's brand isn't empowering anymore. It's toxic. Her defenders? Silent, because no one wants to go down with a sinking ship. And let's not forget the custody battle lurking in the shadows. Those kids aren't just children, they're leverage. Royal blood in Hollywood is currency, and Meghan knows it. If divorce is the next headline, you can bet custody will be her battlefield. Harry, the man who walked away from the crown for freedom, might end up shackled in a California courtroom, fighting for his kids and his dignity. The fairy tale has officially curdled.
Posted, and we know she's looked up to Khloe and Kim and Kourtney for some years.
And let's be real, Meghan Markle didn't just send the Kardashians a few casual bottles of wine. No, no, no. These weren't Costco gift baskets. We're talking handcrafted, photo-ready, please post me on your story hampers, designed with military precision to scream luxury. Gold foil, silk ribbons, probably fairy dust sprinkled by underpaid assistants. This wasn't generosity, it was a marketing ambush. But here's the kicker. The Kardashians didn't bite. No glamorous unboxing, no cheeky Kim caption, no OMG thanks Megs, just silence. And then, Khloe, of all people, dropped a vague little story that looked less like excitement and more like regifting. That's right, word on the Hollywood streets, Meghan's precious baskets might not even have landed in the hands of the sisters she was gunning for. They could have been tossed around like a spare Yankee candle until someone finally said, "Fine, I'll post it."
It's surprising given those three actually work really hard, unlike her. But it's just quite pathetic, isn't it, that this is now the highlight of Meghan Markle's world. A woman who, quite literally...
Now let's pause for a second. Imagine Meghan, once rubbing shoulders with world leaders, standing next to Queen Elizabeth on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, now refreshing her phone at 2 a.m., squealing because Khloe Kardashian accidentally showed a bottle of her wine. That's not power. That's a downgrade. And here's where it gets delicious. The Kardashians never forget to tag. These women are the CEOs of clout. Every nail polish, every protein shake, every ugly waist trainer, tagged, promoted, monetized. So the fact that Meghan got nothing, no tag, no mention, wasn't an accident. That was a choice, a very loud silence. The Hollywood equivalent of inviting someone to the party but forgetting to add their name to the guest list. Brutal.
was given the opportunity by the late Queen Elizabeth II to change the world. Now has her world changed?
And the hypocrisy? Whew. Meghan once accused the royal family of racism in that bombshell Oprah interview. She built her brand on moral high ground, calling out injustice. Yet here she is bending over backwards for the Kardashians, the same family dragged through endless scandals about cultural appropriation and tone-deaf comments. Suddenly, it's principles who? Because when the Kardashian seal of approval is on the line, Meghan's values seem negotiable. Let's not forget, the Kardashians don't hand out clout like free samples at Costco. You earn your seat at their table by proving you're a brand machine. Kim, Khloe, Kylie, they live and breathe their empires. Meghan, on the other hand, keeps popping up with flashy launches, disappearing for months, then expecting the world to bow. Honey, this isn't Buckingham Palace. This is Hollywood. And here, if you're not grinding 24/7, you're irrelevant by Tuesday. And here's the theory floating around that makes this even juicier. What if Khloe's story wasn't a kind gesture at all? What if it was a subtle snub? Think about it. Posting the gift but refusing to tag Meghan sends one very clear message. We see you, but you're not worth our brand's time. Ouch. Because here's the truth. Meghan needs the Kardashians, desperately. But the Kardashians, they don't need Meghan. They already dominate every social feed, every tabloid, every headline. She's trying to claw her way into their circle, but they're looking down from their billion-dollar empire like, cute basket, next. So what are we left with? Meghan Markle, the Duchess who once promised to change the world, now reduced to chasing Instagram validation from reality TV royalty. It's not empire building, it's clout chasing. And the saddest part, she doesn't even realize the Kardashians have already given her their answer. Not with words, not with criticism, but with silence. And in Hollywood, silence cuts deeper than scandal. Because scandal keeps you relevant. Silence makes you invisible.
attention as a safe haven when they fled the monarchy, the godfather to their daughter. That's who just let a snippet of an unreleased video diary slip, and what it revealed was enough to send Harry racing across the Atlantic, reportedly without Meghan or their children.
So far, the relationship has been an incredibly lucrative relationship for one party and one party alone, and that's Harry and Meghan. Tyler Perry didn't need to appear in their Netflix series.
Now, let's be clear. This isn't a gossip item. This is a crack in the foundation, a very public fracture in what has long been marketed as the Sussexes' united front. The footage, we're told, was recorded privately some time ago, perhaps post-Netflix, post-Spotify, at a point when the Sussex brand was already wobbling. Meghan appears to be venting, not just about the British press, not just the monarchy, that's well-trodden ground, but about Harry himself. And the tone? Not heartbroken, not burdened, candid, cool, possibly even contemptuous. In the leaked 90-second clip, Meghan allegedly refers to her Duchess title as the most expensive leash I've ever worn. But the line that went viral, the one that had tabloids gasping and palace aides reportedly stunned, was this: "If Harry wants to run back to his crown and his corgis, let him. I'm done babysitting a prince with no kingdom." A mic drop moment, if ever there was one.
Perry says he's innocent. Maybe he is. But the fact that Harry and Meghan haven't even leaked, one of their favorite pastimes, and you can quote me on that, to the press that they stand by him is just another example, in my opinion, of the Sussexes' all about me mindset.
The fallout was immediate. Social media lit up. Media outlets, even those usually cautious in their coverage, were forced to pick it up. And the palace? Already knew. Multiple insiders claim Tyler Perry gave them a private heads up before even that brief segment leaked online. Whether that was out of loyalty, frustration, or a strategic pivot of his own is unclear. What is clear? This was not an accident. This was a shift. As for Harry, he was reportedly spotted in California at a polo match just hours before the tape began circulating. By morning, he was en route to LAX, visibly distressed. Private jet, last-minute booking, solo manifest. No Meghan, no children, just Harry and a phone he allegedly couldn't stop refreshing. And it doesn't help that Harry is, let's just say it, losing on every front. And let's talk about Meghan's silence, because it's loud. No statement, no clarification, no carefully worded note about being taken out of context. Just nothing. Which in the celebrity world, especially this celebrity world, is not normal. It's intentional. Meanwhile, Harry has reportedly reached out to royal aides, offering, astonishingly, to share his private schedule with the palace in hopes of de-escalating the tension. But let's not pretend this is about diplomacy. This is triage. According to royal insiders, both King Charles and Prince William had already seen the footage. The reaction? Tense. Deeply saddened, according to one source close to the king, palace shorthand for furious, but keeping the gloves on. William, however, is said to be far less diplomatic. One aide reportedly quoted him saying, "He made his bed in California, let him lie in it."
Prince Andrew, Harry's blood relative, Tyler Perry, chosen family. That distinction could spark even more scrutiny over Harry and Meghan's judgment or lack thereof.
What's becoming clear is that this moment, this clip, may be a turning point, not just for Harry and Meghan's public image, but for the future of Harry's standing in both families, royal and marital. Let's not forget, Tyler Perry doesn't move without intention. If he allowed even a second of that footage to surface, it means something. Maybe he felt used. Sources suggest Meghan's team had continued requesting professional favors, from production introductions to backing her next lifestyle project. It's worth noting Perry has built his empire on loyalty, privacy, and independence. And if those values were compromised, well, this may be his way of stepping back. And that's where Tyler Perry re-enters the frame, not as a passive bystander, but as the unexpected catalyst. Because, let's be honest, this wasn't just a leak. It was a move, strategic, deliberate, and possibly years in the making. For a man like Perry, who has built an empire on discretion, loyalty, and control of narrative, sharing any private footage, even in a limited, closed-circle setting, was no accident. And when that footage captures Meghan not only voicing exhaustion with the monarchy, but expressing visible disdain for her husband's royal past, and by extension, perhaps his present, that's not just interpersonal drama, that's reputational detonation. Prince with no kingdom wasn't just shade, it was surgical. It struck at the very identity Harry has tried to reconstruct post-royalty. And for Perry to be the one to circulate that language, even indirectly, signals something far more complex than a falling out. It suggests Perry is done shielding the Sussexes, and perhaps done being used. Sources close to the situation say Perry felt increasingly sidelined and transactional, that after opening his home, offering public support, and even accepting the role of godfather to their daughter, what followed wasn't deepened trust, it was a flood of professional asks, meetings, introductions, endorsements. And Perry, who famously operates on intuition and loyalty, may have seen the line between friendship and exploitation begin to blur.